Okay guys, we're gonna go ahead and try a long right off the CP, and I'm gonna go for a first 5-point target, and then once we break that 5-point target, I want to target this area at the high right around, let's see, 31, 36, that's gonna be that area. And we're gonna want to go for something up near about 10 points. Now if we break down, we really don't want to take much more risk than 30 on this trade, 2 ticks below the low, because we should hold here. So you can see how we made this lower low on RVI when we came to the prediction point in this uptrend. And if I was to dial back to my 512, you would see I also had a nice divergence signal there. Okay, so now I have my auto break even there, which I then typically will bring back to below that low so that I don't get stopped out at break even and then it continues. And I do have 4 different exits here. Bit of a reversal signal on my short time frame here. We're getting a pullback. And what I mean by that is you can see here, we pushed to make a higher high, but we got a little bit of a lower high. So in a trend, that's telling me the potential for a little bit of a pullback, but not for a complete reversal. And so typically you'll see a bit of a retrace and then we'll continue on in the trend. And that's what we're seeing happen here. Maybe I should go ahead and just draw this on here and show you what was going on here. Again, my entry was on this candle right here, 31.50, 31.25. And it looks like they're having a lot of trouble here this morning, kind of busting out of this whole range. Again, some exhaustion on the tick chart, but no true reversal signal on my 1 minute and neither on my 3 minutes. So still hoping that this will hold on this pullback and will continue to make new highs. And this is really not the reaction that we want. There seems to be no follow through. We got just about a point away from my first exit. I'm waiting for some strength to come in the market here. Don't like what I'm seeing on my 1 minute. We've really got to push to make a new high here, or else I have a reversal signal on my 1 minute. Bulls are really trying to hold it up here. So you can see if I was to, let me show you my tick chart. We keep coming down to this 50% zone on this push here from the CP. And my entry was a little late, but it looks like we are holding 50 and pushing here now. And you could even see a bullish divergence off that low. So this is really where we need to get that push up to my first exit, or else this trade is just not worth staying in for a loss. So we'll see if we can push. There we go. So we got the first position off. And so my next profit is really going to be right around 10 points or somewhere where this CP is, whichever is. So we will look around 38.40-ish. Yeah, so right around 38.40, we're going to want to get that second quarter of the position off. And at this point, if we do come all the way back, I'm not interested in holding. So we'll have to see here. We did just extend up on this leg directly to the 27% extension. So see that all the time. Pushes either from the 38, the 50, or the 61 right up to the 27. And it looks like they're attempting to continue to push it here. Okay, so here we go. More than likely are going to come right up into this CP here, and I'll get my second exit out. Just have to break this high we just made at 37. We're going to go ahead and just take that off right there. Now, further up here, you can see that we have the previous daily high at 43.50. So I'm going to take this next position at 43, and then this final position, we're going to see how far we can push this. The next relevant prediction point would be up here at 52, or 50% between the two at 46. So we're going to have to watch here and see. See what they can do. And you can see a beautiful reaction right off the CP here on the 512. Just got almost a 5-point pullback on that. And now it looks like we might even bounce right here. So we got really extended on the RVI with this very short time frame, so you also have to keep that in mind. I don't see the same extension quite yet on the 1 minute, but it is just about there. You can see down on the 1 minute here. You see these previous lows on RVI. We'd have to break those here in order to see a bullish signal on the 1 minute. And so you kind of have it right here, where this previous low was down here, and we just came down to it on the 1 minute. So that could potentially be enough of a signal for higher, but a lot of times what I'll see here on the 512 is you'll get this really big extension. It'll push, it'll come down, make a slightly lower low, maybe at these previous resistance here, over here, and then you get a higher low, and so you get that reversal signal. So not surprising if we do that. Still holding out here for this 43, which again is just a few ticks in front of yesterday's high. And this is purely because we were starting to have this bull run here since about 4 in the morning. We're quite sideways for a while. Started making new highs, new lows, higher highs, higher lows. And if we cannot break here, then looks like we are now going to come back down to the middle of this range that we've been chopping in all night. Let's see if I could pull this up. You can see I had to redraw this actually. We had kind of a situation like this. Now you can see on the 3 minute that we have a bit of a bearish divergence off the high, but we are in this bull push. So in that instance, a lot of times it's just indicating exhaustion in the move and it needs a little bit of a pullback. So still seem to be trotting along here in this 512 tick, inch by inch. No real signs of reversal on the small time frame there. Doesn't mean it's not going to, but So far we got a 5 point and a 10 point exit, or just in front of 10 points. So not too shabby, especially with only about 2 points of risk. And now all the risk is off. I'm not willing to give back anything on these last two. Still waiting for this 43 previous daily high. As we gotta, ultimately the bulls need to break through previous daily high and hold above it for more conviction to the upside. If we were to measure just this small leg here, I would not be surprised. Yeah, 50% of this leg. And you can see if you measure the whole leg from this low to this high, it came directly to the 38% on that first pullback. Then we got our signal on that second. And you can see the 27% extension of this is right here. I got out right around 39.50. And then now that 61.8 is right where I want to exit on my second position, just in front of the previous daily high. Getting a bit of reversal here on the 512. We came up, made this double top, but you can see that there was divergence, so makes sense for a pullback here. And if you're fast and you are and you can enter the market very quickly on a lot of these small divergence signals on the 512, you can scalp a point or two out of the market every time. So that's also another way you can trade this system, is really quick scalps, but you have to be fast. So it's not something for someone who wants to just get a trade on and let it work. So it seems like we're having a little bit of trouble here this morning breaking out. I'm happy so far with my, approximately 15 points total taken out. What? 43 would make me feel a lot better. All right, we're getting close here to 43. There we go. we should definitely test the previous daily high here. We got this far. So there's 43. Sorry about that. I don't know how to turn this off. Okay, so there's the third exit, and now my fourth exit, I really want to see at least 50% between the two prediction points here at 46.75 area. So we'll hold on and see, and to be quite honest with you with this final position, I'm going to trail my stop a bit, and what I'm going to do is come in here to my 1 minute, and so I entered down here 31.25. I think I'm going to trail the stop to this previous low, and you have this previous resistance here around 36, just in case we get a big fallout, a drop here. So I'm going to move the stop up. Where's my stop?
E-minis and P500, March 2021 above 3,841.
I'm not sure what happened here, guys. Give me 1 second. It looks like I'm not even in the position anymore. Okay, I kind of lost my spot there. So we're going to move the stop up to just about 36 here. So we're just behind that swing low on the 1 minute here. Just below it. And really, if I wanted to be very aggressive, I could bring it just below the prediction point here, around 40. And so I would be going for basically a 9-point stop out, or it's going to fill me up here at my about 17 points. But I'm going to just go ahead and leave it here. With worst comes to worst, that final position will come down and be stopped out for 5 points. Or we're going to push here and I will get that 16, 17 points on the position. So just interesting to note here that we are now finding a reaction directly off of the previous daily high at 43.50, which I mark on my chart. I've always got that on there. Previous daily high, the low, and then 50% between them. So you can see the low was it's not on this chart for some reason. Let me copy it over. 0775. There we go. And now in the market, you can see on the 512, we pulled back on this leg here, right back to this previous resistance point, which is again 61.8 of this little leg. And if you measured the whole thing, we're at 50%. And we're forming again what could potentially be a bullish divergence right in this area. If this was to hold or come down just a little lower, and we did not get a lower low on RVI. Now this is very short time frame, so there you go. You get the curve right there. So I would have already clicked long if I wanted to add there. Not looking to get too crazy with it here. I'm just trying to give you guys an example. Show you what I'm seeing. So you definitely could have added there when this candle opened and you saw it curving there. Kept your stop right below here at 38 and at 39-ish. So far, so good. So we'll keep watching here. It looks like it's going to turn over. And you really have to be nimble if you're watching that 512 chart. Very small time frame, especially when the market's really moving. At night, when you're looking at really low volume, the 512 tick chart turns into more like a 5-minute chart. But in the around the open, it really acts like a 15-second chart. Sometimes much less than that if it's really quick. And so you can see that the divergence that I called here off the low, in real time I saw it happening. We've now got this significant push that you could have grabbed another 5 points from. So we will continue to see what we're doing here. Just tested the daily high. They're really trying to break through the previous daily high here. And it looks like they're going to, but we'll have to see. Looking pretty damn strong on my intermediate time frames and my 10-minute. We've got, I'll keep doing that. 30-minute looking really bullish. Show you what I mean here. It's tough to kind of get all these screens on here and record and manage the trade and everything here, but you can see that here's the 30-minute, and you can see overnight where we got this push up, RVI came down and we held, and now we are pushing. We're coming up here to break the 60 and potentially continue on. Having a bit of trouble here at the previous daily high. It really looks like they are going to break through, but definitely don't have a reversal pattern on the 3-minute. The short time frame, you have kind of a, you have this double top, and pull this down, you can see you got a little bit of a bearish signal there, which again is just giving you an idea of some exhaustion, and so we're getting just a few point pullback. So you can see how powerful using these short time frames are for managing your trade and maybe adding in let's see here, I've only got about 5 more points for me to close this trade out, and really if that fills, I don't even think I need to trade anymore today. It was a pretty good first trade. Maybe I'll jump back in with a smaller position size or something and grab a few points off of some of the other signals I get. And here we go. We're finally breaking the previous daily high, so that's a really good indication that I should get this final fill. But it could be one of those situations where they just peak above it by a few ticks and then they sell the market off. So what I might even do here is manage my final position to be somewhere below this last swing low. On this chart here, if I could make it clear to see this swing low here at 38.50. Already pretty close here, 38. So my stop is now just about 7 points if I get stopped out, or I'll grab that 17 points. So let's see here. See what they do. They're really trying to push it. Still don't have any really strong signs of reversal, because although I have it on this little tick chart and the 1 minute, the other time frames really do not show any sign of reversal yet, so I'm not really worried about a full pullback. And so here we go. Looking very bullish. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to turn this alarm off here. This was an alarm I set yesterday for a specific price at 41. So same story, we're still getting some exhaustion on the very small time frames, but on my 3 minute, my 10 minute, my 30 minute, nothing looks too bearish here. Now because we're getting somewhat extended here, it would not be surprising to see a pullback and for price to then push up to a new high, and then you get your reversal signal on divergence. And you can see we're very close to that final exit, and I don't want to just cut it now because again, I don't have a good indication of reversal on at least the 3 minute. But what I might even do here is, because I'm up now, let's see, we're up about 14 points. I think I'm going to bring this guy up to the prediction point just below it. You can see the prediction point here is at 40.50. So I'm going to keep my final exit, well, the stop that I'm trailing, just below that. You do have this nice swing high here that could act as support if we do get this larger pullback. And obviously the prediction point itself, that gives the bulls just a little bit more to defend and continue up and defend my stop. So now we're looking at, looking at about a 10-point stop out, well, plus 10 point stop out, or plus 17 points on this final exit. And this has been going on for quite a while now. We're here, I don't know, half hour now, 40 minutes. So either way, I'm pretty happy here with whatever happens. I have to step away really quick to go to the bathroom, and hopefully I'll come back to a nice fill up there at 47. All right, they're still defending. Got another bullish and continuation pattern on the short time frame. Next stop, 47. In fact, we might just grab it there at 46.75 if we get there. But I'll leave a little space. Now, if I had another position on, I'd definitely have it here in front of the KP at 52. But I don't want to get too, what do they call it? Too greedy here. I think this is an excellent trade so far. So it's either going to pop and get that 47, or I might just pull right down to the 46 and get out in this final position here. Trail this guy up to 42 because I have on the 512 tick this previous swing low at 42. So we'll keep that guy there, and hopefully we'll get, I'll even move this up in case it pops. There's the 50% between the prediction points. 46.75. Got a reaction directly off of it. They're really trying, but you can see how well these levels act as resistance and support. Now what I would expect here is for there to be maybe a slight little pullback and then a push to a new high before there's really a true reversal off this top, because I don't have a pretty pattern here. You can see, let's see if I can scrunch this in here. This should push up now, put it to a new high, but this will push up to a lower high, and that will be the actual reversal signal. Right now it's still not showing it. And sorry, it's tough to manage all these screens on here. I should probably set it up better next time. So we do have this previous ledge right here. Which is right about 45. Ideally, we would not want to break that, and we would want to, again, push up here to make a new high and a lower high on 512 tick to get that divergence reversal signal. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. Let me make this chart smaller, and I'll take the chart trader off there. So not exactly what I expected. I expected this to push to a new high and for this to push to a lower high. And it might still happen right here. I'll have to watch. You can see right off of that previous resistance is where that first one bounced. And if you were to measure this little tiny leg, you can get yourself some retracement levels. That was 38, and then the 61's down at these others, so it's really not over yet until we break these highs over here. And this might just be the push here to get to the next high, and at that point I'm going to move the stop right up, and we're either going to get that 48.50 or we're going to get something right at 46.75 here. As at this point I don't want to get greedy and lose out on this whole position. See, they're trying now. We've got the reversal signal. So we'll see if they can continue to push that. 3 minutes, still no reversal signal. 1 minute, you are getting a little bit of exhaustion, just like the 512. Really trying to push it. Now, super short time frame. Again, we do have now what could be a continuation signal if this holds here. If it doesn't, then, you know, it is what it is. And if this signal is going to hold, we can't break 45. If we break 45, there's no longer that bullish continuation. So there's 45. If that holds there, you can see we now have more of a continuation pattern on the tick chart. And there you have it. There's the push. You can't expect a lot out of the signal on the 512. So a point or two push is now confirming that that signal is valid, and just don't seem to have much follow through. So again, we'll either get out with about 14 points on the final position here. I think it's 14, yeah, 14, 13 points, or we'll get this 17 point exit. And they just don't, they don't want to push it here. To be honest, from the pattern I'm seeing here, it doesn't make sense that that's it. It would make sense for it to push, even if it's just for a few ticks here. Three minute, again, still no reversal pattern, but on the 3 minute, what you could expect to see here is potential pullback to make a new high, and then you get a reversal signal. So you kind of have to keep in mind that there could be a slightly deeper retracement before we get that next high, which means I'll end up being stopped. And they're really having trouble here at 47. You can see these levels. This is where I originally wanted to exit the trade. These levels are really powerful, 50% between the two prediction points. Okay, there's the pop, and that might just be it. So we come back down to 45, I'm out. Again, I ideally wanted to be out at 46, I think quarter was the number, just in front of the 50%. So I was trying to go a little bit bigger here in case of just a quick push through. I could have grabbed a few more points instead of just getting out at 46. This is going on a while now. What time is it? We're looking at almost an hour in this trade. Yeah, it looks like it's probably going to get me at 45. And that's it. So I hope you guys learned a little bit from that. I was trying to kind of commentate and tell you what I see in the market, and you can see that now. Like I said, off that might have been it because you now have the exact pattern that I was expecting, which was a push to a newer high with divergence on the 512, and there's the pullback. And that might just be it. I might have kind of made a bad decision there, but overall, not a bad trade. So I hope you guys learned something, and happy trading.